Welcome back, everyone, to Rise of the Goddess Collective podcast. I am your host, Michelle Julian, your goddess guide. So, on today's episode, we are going to talk about the dissementing moon phase, which is the phase of the moon 3 days late, 3 days later of the full moon. So the full moon phase this time around in 2022 was all about grounding oneself in the crazy energy of all of the things. We have been challenged big time in 2022. And the moon phase are really giving us that wisdom and the energy that we can tap into at any time. So the full moon is a great phase to do your ceremonial tips of releasing and birthing and having an understanding that you're here to create because we are creators. That's why you're listening to this podcast. We are visionaries. We want to be the change that we are looking for because we're passionate human beings and we're having this human experience. So I think it's so important for you to know that this moon phase is the waning. It's also called the waning phase. It's the phase where you can really walk your talk and share what it is that you feel inspired and compelled to share. Because as human beings on this planet Earth, you're here for a purpose. And your purpose is about what you're passionate about and what you feel that can be helpful in the world. So I think that it's okay for you to settle in to receiving the wisdom from the full moon and then actualize it by your creativity, which could be now is the time to start really journaling more and maybe even creating like a vision board of how your vision and how you're creating, what you're inspired by, and what exactly it is that you need to kind of share with your audience, or maybe it's somebody that is in your relationship close to you. You've been wanting to have that conversation and you've kind of worked yourself through all of your feelings about it. You've prepared yourself to understand that there's two sides to every story. So it's really a great time to really understand. And this is the main point that I really want to make to you is that, this waning gibbous is about you receiving the wisdom and then creating it, but also a way that you can take the full moon energy and illuminate anything that you felt that was in the dark, right? So shining the light, receiving that light from the release of the full moon, is super, super important. A lot of people don't really talk about the waning gibbous moon cycle because, the full moon and the new moon are the popular phases that, everybody talks about. But, the thing is you'll understand that, if you are really wanting to be the change maker and make the change, right? This is a quote from Dr. Maya Angelou. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. I absolutely love that quote. And I love her as well. She is very wise. And I strongly suggest, if you haven't experienced her work, to definitely experience it. And I will leave a link in this podcast to her work. So the moon is always there, right? No matter what phase it's in, it's always guiding us home to ourselves. The moon has always something to offer. That's important for you to know, that it's not just the full or the new moon, but the other phases as well. Our job is showing up and receiving this consistently. What may seem insignificant on a daily basis, in terms of attention and effort, you can have significant and accumulative effects over time. So, the waning part of the cycle is not about checking out. Any practice requires devotion to yield results. So everyone knows the full moon is very exciting. You stay committed to your intention for the remaining 3 moon phases of the cycle. Every single phase of the moon cycle, as I said before, I'm paraphrasing, I am reading from the book that I have invested in and have done a lot of research. It's called The Lunar Abundance by Easy Spencer, PhD. I'll also put that in the show notes. And this book is a fantastic book. And she has several books that also give you an opportunity to journal depending on which phase you're in. And actually, I was inspired by her to create my own journal of the being and becoming phases of the moon. And I will also put that in the link below in the show notes, because I think it's important to have these resources so you can do the work and receive all of the power of the moon cycles and phases. So understand that in the waning gibbous phase, you're in that yin state of receiving and working on that high self-esteem. Being able to receive is creating greater abundance. And receiving graciously can bring enormous joy to other people. I mean, isn't that why you're here on this planet Earth? To be the change, to be helpful to other people. So you're both giving, which is the yang, and receiving, which is the yin, and you need both. You need to give and you need to receive. There's not like one is better than the other. And these are essential to work together effectively. Now, there are situations when you have low self-esteem and you're having difficulty receiving it all. That is a real thing. This is why tuning in to the moon phase can help you open that door, that gateway to basically receive. It's like the floodgates, right? Which without any kind of filtering, this could be dangerous. So that's why the yin phase, we're focusing on receiving. So the receiving component is being receptive and to be able to cultivate all types of abundance. So you want to be healthy. Let's talk about that. And if you want to be healthy, you want to have this effective receiving that will enhance your well-being, whether it's, losing weight or getting stronger. That's part of you feeling healthy in your body, because remember, we don't want to get too super focused on the external part of our body and how we look when we're standing in front of the mirror, because that can create a lot of shame and judgment and measuring and comparing, and that's not what this phase wants you to do. This phase wants you to be healthy, to receive this idea of you can feel healthy in your body by tuning in to your vibration of what your body needs. Like maybe you need to drink more water. I always feel like I'm never drinking enough water, which I'm going to take some water right now, as it feels right to do that. And, no one's going to judge me because I took some water while I'm doing my podcast. So basically, understand the point of this phase is it's also not to suggest that you should be open to receiving on anything in any circumstance. It means that you want to be aware of your boundaries and walking away when things are not appropriate in these cases. So you can also draw on support if necessary. So this is also a time that you can be discerning and you can be, really understanding that I'm going to be discerning before I act on whether or not I can receive from this situation or not. But the main thing is you really want to understand that it's hard to receive if you are not curious and open. So it's really important. Be curious, be open. You've gone through a lot. You've done the grounding through the full moon. And now here you are in this magical phase, which is the waning gibbous phase. And, maybe what it might really bring up for you is how you can start, giving yourself some intentions and ways, whether you're working on your health or on your business. And so that is going to set you up for the next phase, which will be the new moon. But let's stay in the waxing, waning moon phase, the gibbous, the gibbous phase, the waxing moon phase. This is also a phase that is just about staying in your being state, right? The being state is receiving, understanding your wisdom, and then actualizing what it is that you need to share. And I think, like I said before, networking, connecting, collaborating, this phase of the moon is very supportive in this. So I hope that was really, really helpful for you. And today I'm going to do something really different and kind of fun and exciting. I'm going to actually do a card shuffle, and I'm going to pick 3 cards for this podcast recording for the waning phase, moon phase. And we are going to say a little prayer to the highest self and tune in to what it is that we all need as a collective as we're in this phase of the moon, what it is that we need to tune in. And the first question is basically, what do I need to know right now, today, in this very moment? So I'm going to pull the card, and boom, here it is. Here is the beautiful card from the Being and Becoming deck, which is super powerful. And it's card number 25. You have an internal and external world at your fingertips. You are having an inner experience as if a door opens to your goddess portal. I just love that this card came, because what I wanted to tell you is I'm actually creating a goddess portal for you to unlock your own potential. And it's going to be so powerful in a way that is going to change your life in all of the areas that you are just desiring to change. So let's pick card number 2. Card number 2 is about what it is my highest self, your higher self, needs to know for the next day or two, or this just being in this phase, what it is that we need to focus on. That is one of the key ingredients in working with the moon phase. Is sometimes we can get lots of messages and get a little confused. So what is it that we need to focus on? Let's pick that card, okay? Number 2 card. Whoa. Beautiful, beautiful card again, with beautiful butterflies and the sun and blue sky and the moon phase, right? May your dreams become your plans. Very powerful, because we all have plans, right? We all have plans in our relationships and in our business. So understand that being curious and dreaming about what it is that you want can happen. And the third card we're going to pick is going to be about what is it that we as a collective need to know for August, which is coming right around the corner. Yeah, August is coming right around the corner. What it is that we need to know to help us stay in the observer state of being, because we've talked about this before, but I'm going to remind you that when we stay in this state of receiving, which is really a creative choice, right? It's understanding and being discerning and observing and contemplating what you want to create. You're stopping that like detached kind of, you're staying in this detached state lens. You're not projecting, you're stepping back, you're stepping out of, that state of judgment and, negativity, I guess. A non-observer state is like more like, not really open to, ideas. So you're really being curious, and you're saying to yourself, that's interesting, instead of, what is that? You know what I mean? Like, so it's important to work with this energy as you're going through this phase. And I'm picking that third card. I know you're just can't wait for that third card. So it's coming. So here it is. Here it is, the third card. And the third card has more butterflies and another beautiful phase of the sun and the moon and the sky. And it says, cultivating your being state. That's what we're doing in this phase. We're cultivating our being state of ease and grace. It requires you, though, to go within, to breathe and allow your grace to be seen, understood, and recognized for who you truly are. This is so important, so important. If you have a business online, is to be truly who you are, your beautifulness, your quirkiness, your messiness, the way you talk, doesn't have to be like everyone else. Being who you truly are is really what attracts the right people to your beautiful message. And so I think that last card was so appropriate. And, you just can't rehearse these things, because this actually, this has not been rehearsed. This is live, happening as we speak. I didn't do this recording. This is not like a pre-recorded session. This is live today at 6:30, July 18th, 4 days after the full moon. And now you know that you can do these readings with this beautiful oracle deck, which will be in the show notes. I think you'll really enjoy them, because they're very, very powerful, and they're deep, and they open your portal. They open the gateway of your wisdom that's already within you. So thank you for listening to this episode. And I just want you to remember that your activation is my activation. And bye for now.